Do you know what I like to do when Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, finally uploads his national recap? I like to look at some baseball cards. Man, I'm still high from the national. I have to tell you, it was so much fun. It's the most fun I've ever had in my collecting life. And I have to tell you that if, it was my first one. And I put it off, the one I wanted to go to, and then COVID hit. And then the next year, COVID was still around. And I had just, lost money on a Italy trip. And I didn't want to book something, then it get canceled. So I didn't go to that. And I was watching Mike Baseball Collector's videos during that one in 2021. And I was so regretful as I sat home. But I have to tell you, if you've never been to one, you have to go. Man, it was just such a great experience. And with this YouTube community, you're never going to be alone. There's plenty of people to hang out with and meet and walk the floor with. And it's fun just to shop with each other. And everybody has maybe their little specialty, pick their brain, have them help you pick something out. But it was way better than I was expecting. I have a Facebook page, and I had scanned all my cards years ago, and I had them on an old Apple website. They gave you an Apple website at one time, and they discontinued that. So I wanted a place to put all my cards if I wanted to share them with anybody. And so at that time, Facebook was out. And when it first came out, I couldn't understand why I would want to be on there. So I made a page. It's the Mcginnis collection. And I put all my cards on there. And I have them all in albums, broken down by eras, by different topics, and by sets. So I started to make a couple videos. I had my wife film a couple videos, and I did some myself, and I threw them on there. And as an afterthought, I had a YouTube account, which I had uploaded one video I did for, I did this like half-hour infomercial for a newspaper in Myrtle Beach, and that's all I had up there were a couple of those pieces. So just as an afterthought, I thought I would put them on there. And I had no idea there was a community. I had no idea anybody would watch them. I had not watched baseball card videos or sports card videos on there myself. So, I never thought to go there because I don't know, baseball cards to me were always more pictures. So, I grew up reading them in books and so forth. Never any TV show or anything like that. So, man, I had no idea this community existed. But I have to say it has, it's changed my life because how often do you get to share, your passion and with other like-minded people that also share that passion? I always collected pretty much in obscurity, other than when I was a little kid and a teenager, early 20s. I had a few friends that collected. We'd get together, trade. We'd go to a show here and there, and that was about it. We go to our local card shop. So I was mostly in obscurity, and my family would always want to come and see my cards and stuff, but they don't know what they're looking at, right? So it's just not as much fun to share them with people that don't know what they're looking at. They can't appreciate them. You show a rare card to you guys, or you show a rare card to me, we know what we're looking at. We can appreciate that. And so I never expected really to have a YouTube channel. I never had any goals for it or anything like that. It was never about, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel, make some money. I mean, quite frankly, I am a man with a phone showing cards, talking about the history, and that's it, right? You have these channels that come up, if they're ripping packs, if they're breaking, if they're talking about card prices, they have 3,000 subs in a month. So you look at anybody that has 40,000 or more, And those are the kind of channels. And I could run around to Walmart and Target and Big Lots and try to buy cards and and film it, but man, that's not who I am. Not that I don't enjoy doing that, but I'm not gonna do a dog and pony show just for subs or anything like that, because it's not about that. It's just about sharing my passion, sharing my collection, whatever limited knowledge I may have acquired over the years. And I'm sure I learned more from other YouTubers from being in this community than I've given. It's just amazing what I've learned on here that really I could only get from magazines and websites, at maybe seeing a card at a card show somebody told me about or something like that. So man, what an education to be on here. And I thought, like, what do I want my channel to be? And so last time I was home in Pittsburgh, which was a few months ago. When was that? Back in June. And I found out that a good friend of mine, his son was having a graduation party. So I caught wind of it, and I didn't tell him I was coming or anything. I'm like, I'm going and crashing that party. So I did. And we started to talk, and a bunch of my friends were gathered around, and he said, I don't know what's wrong with me. He's like, I wake up on a Saturday morning, get my coffee, and I end up watching baseball card videos all day Saturday. I know nothing about cards. I don't care about cards, but I couldn't stop watching. And I've had other people comment on that too, which I think is awesome. Like, if you're just tuning in for the history, or you used to collect cards and you just like cards, or you just like sports, or you just like the history. I watch Pawn Stars, but I don't collect Civil War memorabilia or any of the crap that goes into there. I watch American Pickers, but I don't go around buying old gas signs, right? But I enjoy it. So if I had any goal for my channel, I was thinking what I would want to be is the Bob Ross of sports cards on YouTube, because everybody used to watch Bob Ross. You remember him, the painter? And he had this soothing voice, and I used to take naps to him and stuff. And I don't know a thing about painting. I have no artistic skills, but I would find myself watching Bob Ross. He was just interesting to me. It was entertainment. And I find myself on YouTube, I find myself constantly looking and refreshing to see if anybody uploaded something. Because, even though I get all these channels on my TV, and I have Sling TV, and I have, cable and all this, there's never anything to watch. And it's become like YouTube has become more fun for me to watch than anything else. And I'll lay in bed with my wife at night, and I'll go through YouTube. And that's why I don't comment as much as I'd like to, because I watch it on TV a lot, and oftentimes late at night. But I mean, what would you rather watch? Some 600-pound person, and their life, or Dave Blue Jacket 66 showing cards you've never seen before and may never see again? Or, housewives fighting with each other, nasty housewives. Would you rather watch them, or go watch Rick, Vintage Oddball Cards, show some rare old Type 1 photos? I mean, there's no comparison to me. It is, YouTube is filling a void, I think, for a lot of us. How many of us over the years wanted to have a TV show on baseball cards? They're just now getting around to that. But we all are the baseball card TV shows. Every once in a while there would be a radio program on AM radio or sports channel, and you couldn't wait to tune in, because it's the only thing you could listen to about sports cards. So anyway, I wanted to show you a couple of team sets now you may never have seen before. I'm going to start off with the 1974 Johnny Pros. They're oversized stand-ups. And, of course, they are anchored by these two players, Mike Schmidt and I have two Steve Carltons. Here is the Bull, Greg Lazinski. So these pop out and stand up if you want. we have Bill Robinson. Now, he played for my Pirates. I was a huge Bill Robinson fan. I have a game-used bat of his. I have the 1968 Topps Test 3D card of his. I was a big fan of his. He came up with the Yankees, went to the Phillies, and then came to the Pirates. And he was part of the 1979 World Championship team, World Series team. He platooned in left with John Milner. John Milner was a lefty, he was a righty. And he was a good hitter. Clutch, too. I better put my glasses on so I can read all these names. Here we have Larry Boa. We have Dave Cash. Willie Montañez. These are such cool images with the white background. Jim Longborg. Bob Boone. Del Unser. Now, these are all in great condition. My Del Unser, though, it's a little bit separating. Rest of them are nice. Mike Anderson. I should send it to PSA, have them grade it, and then critique their grade. All right, Ron Shuler. Now, I believe it was the year before in 73 that Johnny Pro made him for Baltimore. Here's Earl Weaver. And these have a green background. And I need the Brooks Robinson. Mark Belanger. This is such a cool card. Such a smooth fielding shortstop. Dave McNally. Earl Williams. I remember him distinctly because one of the first packs of cards I ever remember really opening up, one of the first year I really collected as a kid, where I had bought multiple packs, was 75, and I just remember his 75 card like it was yesterday. I remember pulling that from a pack. And Don Baylor, your 1979 MVP when he was with the Angels. And hey, I got another Don Baylor. Mike Cuellar. Terry Crowley. Now, I know those of you from Philly and from Baltimore are out looking for these on eBay right now as you're watching this. Orlando Pena. I always have people say, tell me that they went on and picked them up after they saw me show something. And Larry Brown, and I don't remember Larry Brown. It's the only one I don't remember. And then in 1976, Johnny Pro made these for McDonald's, and they were the Sixers. Now, this set, it's disappointing to me because it doesn't have a Dr. J. And man, Dr. J is my favorite basketball player. But here's George Mcginnis. And this is the set. Steve Mix. Fred Carter. Doug Collins. Dr. J was probably off making The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. Who remembers that movie? Man, when I was a little kid, in Pittsburgh, by that time, we didn't have any basketball teams. So I just adopted Philadelphia since it was in my state. And I love Dr. J. So when they came out with The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, and I was in Pittsburgh, and the star was Dr. J, are you kidding me? You know how excited I was? Billy Cunningham. And here we have Harvey Catchings. I vaguely remember his name. Look at those socks. I remember back then, so the higher you wore the socks, the cooler you were. And I used to wear my socks up over my knee. You had those big, long tube socks. Oh, I forgot about that. So those are the Johnny Pro cards. If you watch or comment or like my videos, I appreciate it very much. This, man, this is such a great outlet and so much fun, and it makes getting new cards more fun because I get to show them. And sometimes, you know, I get a new card or I learn about a new set, and then I want to share that. So I learn about a card or I learn about a set and I find one, I want to share it with all of you. And so it makes my doing a video much more interesting for myself. And I really sincerely hope that you enjoy what I show. And I really appreciate your interaction. I appreciate all the friends that I've made. And I'm telling you right now, if you've never been to a national, you need to go. If you don't have anybody to hang out with, our group of guys, we call ourselves the Misfits. You reach out to us and we'll walk the floor with you. We'll hang out with you. No problem. Thanks for watching.